Assalamu alaikum guys, welcome back to another video. So this is a well-awaited video. This is my labour story and I'm finally here to tell you guys what went down. So I've got a little baba here, so if you hear him, he is right next to me and he looks cute as ever in his little shorts. It's a beautiful, beautiful summer's day today. Hi! Yeah, okay. So where to even start? If you see me look at my phones, because I've wrote notes because my brain is really jumbled. Like when I say jumbled, I mean jumbled. So I've just wrote a little bit of notes down just to remind me. So yeah, so on the 18th of February I went in for my induction, which was set for 8 AM. I went in there guys and I was thinking everything's going to be happening fast, I'm going to be getting induced right away, all of that stuff, and no, that didn't happen. So I went in at 8 AM with all my bags packed and guys, I was so anxious, I was so nervous. I was expecting the worst, I'm not going to lie to you. That is the one thing I did not want to happen, is me getting induced, is because I had heard so many bad things about it. So yeah, it was literally my worst fear. It was something I did not want to do whatsoever. So I went in with a clear mind, a positive mind, because I told myself, Ebony, you just need to be positive because whatever happens, happens. And you know what, it's all in Allah's hands. So the midwife told me that I had to get examined first to determine what kind of induction I was going to have, whether that be the pessary, which is pessary propest. It's basically something that they insert in you, and yeah, I'm not going to go into great detail about that. Anyway, the pessary, there's a water break, and I can't remember what else there was. There's also you go on the drip, but that's later on in the induction process. But the drip is something I definitely did not want. I was like, no, I don't want this. But I have felt like I was kind of dilated anyway, so I was thinking, okay, maybe I'll just need the pessary. The midwife had told me she was going to check me. So me and Hossam were just waiting around, and then the midwife came back and she told me that we can't check you yet because the labour room has got extremely full. Hey, extremely full. So if you were to go into labour now, you wouldn't get all the help you needed, and it's pretty dangerous. So we was like, okay, we was expecting a couple of hours, that's all, and then we was gonna get checked and then they would determine what's gonna happen then. But no, hours went by and I had still not come to get checked. Bearing in mind there was other ladies on the ward that had been checked before me and had the pessary inserted, which is the tablet, inserted, and one of them, I'm not gonna lie, she was going into full-blown labour, and that scared me so much because I could hear her. And because basically we only had like a curtain, that separates each of us, so you can hear everything, you can literally hear everything. And the other woman across from me, nothing happened to her, but the other woman, when I tell you, she was like screaming. So I was just like, oh my god, it's just gonna be me in a couple of hours, like what is going on. It got to about 12 o'clock and the midwife has still not come back. So then Hossam went to go find her and she still said the labour room was really full. So we was just waiting around, but me waiting around is making me more anxious because I'm a very anxious person, like I said before. So waiting around, I was just like, I was overthinking it more and more, and obviously I could hear the other woman across from me and she was like in agony, in pain. So I was just thinking, oh my gosh, like how long? Like, I'd rather just get it over and done with, and that's that. So then me and Hossam chilled for a bit. bear in mind, I'm gonna tell you this now. So this day, I had been getting Braxton Hicks, but I had got Braxton Hicks anyway. But this day, the Braxton Hicks were a bit more intense, but I didn't think anything of it at all. So I was thinking, no, maybe it's just like it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just a bit more stronger today. Because let me tell you, throughout my end of my pregnancy, for the last like 4 weeks, every day I had to experience Braxton Hicks. And if you didn't know what Braxton Hicks are, guys, Braxton Hicks are false contractions. So it's like getting your body ready for the real deal kind of thing. So I was like, let me just go for a walk, because I felt so much pressure down there anyway, because his head was like proper engaged. He was so low down. So I was thinking, let me just walk around. Maybe that's gonna like budge him a little bit, because I really wanted to go into labour naturally anyway, but I didn't think I was gonna go to that labour naturally. But I'm gonna tell you what happened later on. So me and Hossam go for a walk, walking up the stairs constantly, and I'm still feeling pressure and more Braxton Hicks, but there was nothing that was budging. So we get back to the ward, we ask again, and I think this was like 4 o'clock. Because bear in mind, in that time, we had eaten, watched movies, chilled, gone for walks, everything, still nothing. So then the midwife came back and she said there was still no room whatsoever. So I was getting stressed out, because I was like, Hossam's gonna have to go home around like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and what if like they come and they do the whole process and he's not there? Like, I need him there, because for me, I need the support. I can't do it alone, type of thing. So obviously I was on edge about that. But so it did get later and later, and the midwife still didn't come back, still didn't get checked, still didn't have the pessary. I was literally just there, basically like staying in the hotel for free. Like, I was just there, nothing, like nothing had changed. Yeah. So at this point now, the midwives were changing shifts, so the later midwife was coming on. So I had spoken to the later midwife and said, can my husband stay till a bit later, because I haven't had no pessary inserted, I haven't even had my checks yet, haven't had any of that, and I don't want to do it alone because I'm really anxious. And she was like, yeah, you can stay till a bit later. So he stayed till about, I think it was about 11 o'clock. We ordered Domino's and we just relaxed. And then it was time for him to go home, and let me not tell you, I was so upset. Like, I was so upset. Really, really on edge. Yes. So Hossam had gone home now, and I was just chilling, relaxing. So about 1:13, this is when I started to experience pains. But they were like, what were they like? They were like, it's gonna sound a bit gruesome, but about like diarrhea pains. I was starting to get like proper diarrhea pains. I thought I just needed a toilet. Like, I thought, okay, I need a toilet. Like, this is, I don't know what's going on, but this is what it is. But when I tell you, it was like, it was when I was getting the contractions, the Braxton Hicks, the false ones. I thought they were false, but they weren't false. So I went to the toilet, came back, I was still getting pains, and they were regular. So I thought, let me just time them. I'm not going to message anyone. I'm not going to message Hossam. I'm not going to message my mom. I'm going to wait first, because I don't want to give no false alarms. So I thought, let me just time them. These were getting like 7 minutes apart, but they were regular. And then they started to become closer. So they got to about 4 or 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, this is like regular, like very, very regular, and they're starting to become like intense now. I'm actually feeling them, because my other Braxton Hicks, they weren't painful whatsoever, but these, they were painful. So I messaged my mom, I messaged Hossam, and I was like, look, I'm getting intense pains, like, I don't want to worry you, but I don't know if this is starting naturally now, I don't know if my dreams are coming true. And I was like, make sure you're awake, because things can happen at any time. So my mum and Hossam were literally like, just like, yeah, I'm gonna stay awake. They were both awake, they were on the ball, they were just so excited. And then it got to a point where it started to get really, really intense. So my mum and Hossam was like, okay, you need to go let the midwife know now. So I pressed the buzzer, and I was like, look, I'm getting intense pains, I'm getting contractions, I believe the contractions, I believe it's starting. And she was like, okay, let's just give you a check. I'm gonna give you a check now. This is, I think it was, I don't know what time it was, just before 2, I'm guessing. And she was like, okay, I'm gonna give you checks, I'm gonna check you, and I'm gonna see what's going on. So I was like to her, can I have some gas in there, because the last time I had a check in the doctors when I was getting my sweep, it did not go down too well. Like, I could not hack it, it hurt so bad. So she got me the gas in there, they did my checks. And I'm not going to lie, the Gassonaire is my best friend, because I felt like I was in another world. When I was suffering that Gassonaire, I felt like I was in another world. It was kind of like I could still feel it, but it was like I could deal with it. So she did my check. She said that my cervix was really, really far back. She said that his head was very, very, very low down, and she thinks that's why she can't get like past where she needs to go. So she was like, I'm gonna give it some time. She can't see my dilation. She's not sure if I'm even dilated at all. So I was like so confused, because I was like, I'm going through all these pains and you're telling me I'm not dilated at all. And bearing in mind, I was 40 weeks plus 3 days pregnant, so I was over, and I was thinking, I'm not dilated. I'm so confused. Anyway, she went and she's like, keep an eye on it. They did put the machine on my belly as well to check my contractions, and they were very, very, very regular. But it got to the point where I could not lay down on that bed with that monitor on. I had to be up. Being up, and this is advice I'd give you women that are pregnant, when you're in labour, stay on your feet as much as possible, because that will help the baby engage even more and get into proper birth canal, and the pain will be more bearable. I'm not going to say I won't say it's bearable at all, but when you're up and you're walking, it's so much easier than sitting down. I felt like the pain was so much more worse when I was sitting down in one place. Yes. Yes, are you talking to me? Are you talking to me? Oh. Yeah, so I would say the advice to you girls, women out there, not girls, women out there that are pregnant, stay on your feet, and also have a heat pack on your back, because when I tell you that helped me so much, it really helped me so much. Anyway, so I had my checks, and that was what was happening. So I let my mum and Hossam know, and they was like, okay. My mum already knew. She was like, Ebony, I think you're in early, but I think it's happening, and it's happening today. So I was like, okay, whatever. So it got to a point where the pains were getting that bad, it made me physically sick. And I'm not gonna lie, all the dominoes I had earlier with Hossam came up. I was so sick. But that's the thing with me, when I'm in so much pain, my body just reacts with being sick. So I was so sick, and yeah, it was so shambolic. But I was walking up and down the wall, up and down, literally holding my breath, breathing through it. Because prior to coming into the hospital anyway, I had researched ways to how to breathe properly during your contractions. So I was just like, Ebony, you can do it. I was trying to remain calm as possible. And I'm not gonna lie, I think I did pretty well with that. Like, I wasn't screaming when I was in pain. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just literally breathing and telling myself, Ebony, you can do it. You have got this. Women are literally made for this. So I was walking up and down. Then it got to a point where it got even worse, and I was like, I don't know what to do now. I need a bath. So I let the midwife know, and I was like, can I have a bath? She was like, well, the baths are broken. I was like, what? What am I gonna do now? I need some kind of pain, like, relieving. Like, it's so bad. Then she was like, okay, you can have a shower. So I went into the shower, and I stood there with the water running on my back, and for a minute it was kind of relieving the pain a little bit, but then it was just got to a point where I couldn't even do that. I tried to sit down in the shower on the little chair. I tried to do all of that, but it was just not. And then I was just like, I need some kind of pain relief. I went into hospital telling myself, Ebony, I'm not having epidural war. That was one thing I did not want. But what I do want is, I would want Gassinair and Pethidine. So they were the only things I want. Pethidine is an injection that goes in your leg, and it just makes you like quite drowsy. But at this point, like, she told me that you only can have 3 shots of Pethidine, so take it like when you need it, because you don't know how long you're gonna be in labour for, kind of thing. So I was like, okay, let me wait it out for a bit, and I'm not even on the labour ward yet, so let me just wait it out. So then she's like, you can have Oromorph, which is a liquid that goes, you swallow, you just take it through the syringe. So I had that, and I'm not gonna lie, that made me even more sick. I sucked all that up. All that Oromorph came back up. So basically I had no pain relief, none. I was just walking around. I didn't even have the gas and air. I didn't have any of that. It was just there, and I don't think it was even plugged in. So I was just walking about, and I was in so much pain, and they could see I was in so much pain. I'm not gonna lie, I had this such amazing student midwife that she was there, and she was so amazing. She taught me properly how to breathe as well. Like, I didn't had like researched how to breathe, but she taught me like properly, and she was like so amazing, so supportive, just absolutely amazing. So I had FaceTime to my mum, and I was like, look, they're getting really, really intense now. I was on FaceTime to them for like majority of the time. and they were just like getting ready to go. Like they had like got ready, they was dressed, they was ready to go, but the midwife said that they couldn't come yet, which was stressing me out even more, because I was like, I'm in this much pain, I know for a fact I'm in labour. By the way, you couldn't, I was in the induction ward, I wasn't even on the labour ward, so you have to be in labour to go to the labour ward. And obviously it was full at one point, but it had cleared anyway. She did say to me as well, let me rewind. You know how I didn't get the pessary or anything like that? She said to me, we're not going to do that now because you're going, look like you're going into natural labour, which I was. So she was like, we don't need to induce you anymore, which I was so happy about. I was actually over the moon about that. And then the midwife herself saw that I was getting more intense, and she was like to me, I think she had like spoken to the student midwife, spoken to other midwives as well, because they could see that, okay, this is labour. Yeah, so they was like to me, okay, your husband can come now. And this was about 6 AM. He was actually meant to come back at 7:30 because that's the visiting times that they can come, but she was like, I can see that it's getting more intense, so I told her husband to come and then we'll do another check on you. So I texted Hossam, was like, can come, so he was there in like, I don't even know, like so fast, like 10 minutes if that. And then I was still in so much pain, so I was like, Ebony, let's just try again and go in the shower, maybe it will help again. So I'm back in the shower and I was there putting the water on my back, really hot water. It was just a no-go for me. So I came out the shower and then Hossam came. He was so shocked because he saw that the amount of pain that I was in. I literally couldn't even speak to him. I was literally walking like this. I was just like, oh my God, I couldn't even listen to anybody. Like, I was in so much pain, and he was just like trying to talk to me, trying to help me, and I was just like, no, I need a minute. I was just walking back and forward, and I was just thinking to myself, Ebony, this is so painful. How am I gonna, like, does this get worse? Because how am I gonna do this? And I don't want that Epidural, I don't want any of that, so how am I gonna do this? But alhamdulillah, I did it. And then the midwife came, she checked me, and I had the questionnaire, had some hold in my hand. I went through the whole check thing, and I was 2 centimeters dilated. And I think you'll see this part on the vlog where Hossam sat there, and you can just hear me huffing and puffing on the questionnaire then. But yeah, I think I was 2 centimeters at that point, I'm sure I was. Midwives, and it was like, okay, you can go down to the labour ward. When they told me that I was over the moon, I was like, finally I can go to the labour ward. Like, yeah, I was so happy. The pain was that bad, I was even contemplating having the epidural, and I'm so happy I didn't, but I was contemplating it. I was saying to the midwife, look, I need the epidural, I'm going to have the epidural, I need all the pain relief I can get, because I don't know how I'm going to do this, because I was so tired as well. Guys, you have to remember, I didn't sleep all night on the day before, so I was so tired, and when you're in that much pain, your body gets so exhausted and so worn out. So I was just like, I need the epidural, I need this. They was like, you need to go to labour ward first, and then they'll talk to you about it, and you have to be like certain centimetres, I'm sure, anyway. So I went in the wheelchair and down to the labour ward. The wheelchair experience was the worst thing ever, because I had to sit down and I needed to stand up to help me deal with the pain. So I got to the labour ward, and I asked when my mother could come, because I was having 2 birthing partners. They said that she could come a bit later, so I just had to wait for her. When I got down there, I had my pethidine injection, which made me really drowsy. The pethidine injection didn't actually kick in until about 30 minutes time. So yeah, I was just walking around, and I actually wanted to get in the bath, because my room had the big bath where you could like relax in there. So the Hossam started to run me a bath, but then the midwife was like, you can't get in there because you just had the injection, and that makes you really drowsy, so it's dangerous. So then I was like, okay, whatever, that's fine. So I was just walking around the room. I was just literally out of it, like so out of it. And then my mum came. Hossam and my mum were both just like massaging my back, taking turns, because guys, when I tell you, that's one thing that really helped me so much as well. Massaging my back, but obviously it can get tired for them, so they was literally just swapping because I needed it non-stop. I didn't have a break. I was like, you need to carry on, you need to literally follow me as I'm walking and massage my back, because that helped me so much, along with the heat packs as well. I'd say the pethidine injection made me more calmer as well. Like, I wasn't like pacing. I was walking, but I was more like relaxed, just like like, you know what I mean, relaxed, much more relaxed. That's what everyone said to me, to be honest, as well. But Hossam and my mum were both absolutely amazing birthing partners. The support I had is actually crazy. Like, oh, they're just so amazing. Like, I couldn't have done it without them. They were so just calm and patient with me, and I was so like angry. I wasn't just angry, but you know when you're in so much pain, you get so aggy. I was aggy, like aggy. Like every time they would stop, say if they stopped to like pick up water, I'd be like, please, I need to carry on. I need to carry on massaging. Don't stop, don't stop. But they were just absolutely amazing, and they were helping me breathe through everything. And when I was in that room, I had the gas in there as well, so that helped me. So then I had another check, and when they checked me, I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated at that point. And I can't actually remember what time it was because I was so out of it. I'm guessing it was about 11, half 11 or 12 maybe. I was 3 to 4 centimeters dilated, so then I was so happy to hear, because I was like, okay, we're getting closer, Ebony, we're getting closer. But then I still kind of wanted the epidural because I was so tired and so drained, and I was like, how am I gonna, I don't know how long this is gonna go on for. But then at the same time, I didn't want it because I know that's not something I wanted at all. So then I was just breathing through it, still having my gas in there, I was relaxing. I tried to get a bit of rest with the pethidine injection, because I had another pethidine injection as well. I think I had another check about 1 o'clock, I'd say. And no, it's actually, would I say it was 1 o'clock? No, I wouldn't. I'd say it was about 1:40 or 1:45. I had a check, and they told me I was 6 centimeters dilated, and they said that they could feel his hair, and he was so low down, and his hair was curly, and I was like, oh, so cute. I was so happy. I just remember mum telling me, Ebony, he's coming, Ebony is coming, Ebony, you're doing absolutely amazing. Hossam was there as well. He was telling me the same thing. He was just over the moon. He was making dua. He was praying for us. He was there holding my hand, and everything was just so surreal. I literally felt like I was in some kind of movie. I was so emotional. And when I looked at Hossam, when I looked at my mum, the eyes, you could just see the emotions running like wild, and it was just crazy. And then I had my waters broke. I'd had my waters broke, and everything just came flooding out. I'd lost my mucus plug as well. I can't remember what time that was, but I'd lost my mucus plug, and my waters had been broke. They had broke my waters for me, because they was like, just to speed things up. And then, yeah, I could feel my body pushing. My body was just pushing. But I didn't want to say anything because I wanted the epidural. I don't know why, I'm so stupid. But my mum clocked on, and so did Hossam. They looked and it was like, I can see, like, it could clock. It just clocked on. My body was just pushing. And my mum was like, Ebony, I think your body's pushing. Like, and then she was asking the midwife, I think you need to check her again, because I don't know what's going on, but you need to check her again. So they checked me again, and guys, I was ready to push. I was ready to push. They was like, okay, next thing you know, everything was, no, I forgot something. So they had inserted something on baby's head, which I can't remember what it was. I think it was to track his heartbeat. Yeah, it was to track his heart rate, because the one that was around me, because I was wanting to walk around, and I wasn't like detecting it properly. So they put something on his head, on the top of his head, to track his heartbeat. But then, because my body was like, it was weird, it was like urgent to push, I think that's why his heart rate proper went down. So then they were all talking, and I didn't know. I just remember Hossam telling me after this is what happened, that they were all talking that obviously they needed to get him out ASAP, could potentially lead to a C-section. So obviously everyone was rushing about, and then what happened was, obviously my body needed to push. My mum told me to check me. So they checked me again, and that's when they realised I was 10 centimetres. I was ready to push. Like, I was ready to push. And the midwife was like, okay, you're ready to go. This is me. I was panicking. I was, oh my god, ready to push. No epidural. I didn't even get to have an epidural. I'm so happy, alhamdulillah. I'm so happy to have an epidural, because I did not want it. So alhamdulillah, I'm so happy I did not have it. They're like, yeah, you need to push. So We need to get him out because his heart rate's going down as well. We need to get you out. And all next thing you know, they press some buzzer and tons of people come running in, like rushing about. I don't even know what's going on at this point. Oh, bed going up and my body was pushing. And I remember Hossam asking, can she push now? Because she's pushing, can she just push? They're like, yeah, push. My bed was going up. They were trying to get everything sorted and I was just there pushing. I didn't even know, like, I didn't know, I was just pushing, I didn't know what to do. It clip on his head. So that's to like pull him out, the suction cup, to pull him out because they need to get him out ASAP, obviously, because his heartbeat, and that pulled him a bit, and that's when his head came out, and that's when all his body came out. I literally pushed him out in 6 minutes, guys. So fast. It all happened so fast. It happened from 0 to 100 real quick. It was funny how I was 6 centimeters, and then literally 5 to 10 minutes later, I was ready to push. Like, that went so fast. 6 centimeters to 10 centimeters in the space of 5 to 10 minutes was so crazy to me. It was funny how I felt my body pushing before, but I didn't want to say anything because I wanted the epidural. I think I was getting epidural ready and everything, you know. And I really wanted it because I didn't know. When you're in that much pain, you don't think. You literally don't think. So that's what I'm going to say as well. Guys, you women out there can do this. Like, your bodies are so strong. Your bodies can handle the craziest amount of pain ever. Like, you can get through this. Like, me doing this now with no epidural, just gas and air and a bit of pethidine, like, I know that any woman can do this. Like, it's painful, yeah, but once you've got your baby, once you've got your baby in your arms, all the pain is forgotten. Like, literally all the pain is forgotten. Like, you don't remember anything at all. Like, it's just such a beautiful, surreal feeling. Alhamdulillah, I'm so blessed to have the amazing support I have. My amazing baby, he is so beautiful and so healthy, alhamdulillah. And my birth, I'd say, went well because I didn't have to get induced. Also, when I was pushing, they said, okay, can we cut, like, they asked you, by the way, they asked for permission. They was like, can we cut you? So I was just like, yeah, just whatever. At this point I was scared because I had like heard horror stories about that as well. And Hossam was there, like, he was watching, he's seen the whole thing because he was holding my hand when I was pushing. I was holding my mum and his hand. My mum was like, oh, go watch your son come out. So we were like, amazing, So then he went round to like greet Zachariah ready for him to come out. And then he obviously seen everything, and he seen when they got the scissors and then they cut me. And oh, he was gone for life, man. He said the scissors were absolutely massive. But when they were sewing me up and everything, I'm not going to lie, the pain wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. But I feel like people have different pain thresholds anyway. But alhamdulillah, it all went well. My healing process went well, alhamdulillah. And I feel like everything in the end just, it all worked out in Allah's plan, and it worked out the way it should have worked out, and I'm so grateful. I went in at 8 AM, right, on the 18th, which was my and Hossam's anniversary, by the way. Our 1 year nikah anniversary was on the 18th. I went in expecting to get induced, expecting to be on that drip thing, and expecting all the worst, but really Allah had his plan. I gave birth the way I wanted to. I didn't need to get induced. I didn't need any of that, and I'm so grateful. Like, Allah works in mysterious ways. He really does. And now I've got my beautiful baby boy. Haven't I? Yes. Oh, bye. Once you give birth, you feel like you can do absolutely anything. I literally feel like I can conquer the world, and I'm just so happy that it just went all smoothly. Alhamdulillah. 12 hours of labour, 6 minutes of pushing. I did that, so I'm super proud, and I'm super grateful for the support I had, because Hossam and my mum both did amazing, and I can't have asked for anything better.